Avalon, hey, congratulations to your film Honeycomb.
Thank you so much.
Well, more of a congratulations that it's being showcased at Slamdance this year. How do you feel about that?
It's so exciting. I feel like it's like the best place for it, and it's just been great ever since I found out I got in. I've been really excited.
That is awesome to hear. So let's ask that basic question first. Where did you come up with the idea for Honeycomb?
Uh, so the idea for Honeycomb was definitely started in just I had that vision of the major tragedy that happens in the film. That was just a shot in my mind, and I was like, that would be really scary. And then the bee stuff kind of came in later. I came up with the idea my summer I graduated on Cortez Island, so I saw the backdrop for it kind of just in my day-to-day, and yeah, the idea just started there, and then it spiraled and here we are.
Did what was your intention is to make this sort of like a horror type of film?
Yeah, I like I said, the first idea I had was of the scariest moment of the film. So right away I was like, this is going to be a horror movie. I didn't know if that was going to be the only element of horror or if the whole thing was going to end up being scary. And I feel like it's kind of a mix of both. It starts out pretty calm, and it's hard to see what's going to happen, and then things get messier and weirder as you carry on. So
I don't know. There were quite a few parts that could be how can you say interpreted as the scariest moment. But I'm assuming you're talking about the conclusion that
yeah, yeah. Yes, you're right though. There are a few moments that are leading up to the scariest moment for sure. So
Now I'm gonna take a wild guess that you are a pretty big horror fan because I could tell by the your DVD lineups
yeah.
on your background. Except I was gonna say 13 is not quite a horror, but
It's close though. It edges on female. I mean, teenage girls are really scary. So
I was gonna say but you could get that sense out of Honeycomb that you wanted it to center around a group of teen girls. Why did you want to focus on those characters? Because I know the boys were kind of like in the background or off to the side of it.
yeah, I mean, I guess because that's been my experience, I'm a female, that a lot of those situations were situations like I've seen myself and my friends a part of, and that was the inspiration for it. I feel like almost every movie I've done has been female based, and that's because that's where my brain is, and those characters were so important to me because they're my friends, and those characters are really based off of my friends and the people who played them. I think they're inspiring. They inspired the story in a way. So yeah, that's why they were important for me.
So let me backtrack a bit. The characters were based off your friends, and the cast are also your friends.
Yeah, yeah. So the main cast and any extras, all of the crew members are people that I'm still very close with now. Half of them live in this house that I live in. Actually, they're like my closest core group of friends, and yeah, their characters were written based on their personalities, but exaggerated.
So how did you convince them to participate in your film? I mean, did you approach them? Look, I'm writing a horror movie. You're going to be in it. You're going to star in it, and it's just an exaggerated form. So don't take offense. I mean, how did you pitch that to them?
I don't think I told them that their characters were them. When I pitched it, we were on a camping trip and they had no idea that I was going to do that. I had like 5 copies of the final script and I just handed them out and everyone kind of sat in a circle and I just gave my pitch basically to them. I really had to hype it up because I was like I wanted them to understand that this could be something. The films that we've done in the past have gotten into like smaller festivals. And I mean, I didn't know that this was going to get into Slamdance, but I wish I could have said that to them. Like, hey guys, this is going to be at Slamdance. Like, we got to make this. But so I had to make my own pitch, just kind of that I wanted this to be like the biggest thing we'd ever done, that I was willing to, put my all into it. pay for equipment, that kind of stuff we hadn't done before, and that I wanted them to do the same. And so I had to be very encouraging, especially in the beginning, to really sell them on it. And I think the script was exciting for them because they could see themselves in it. Once they read it, they understood. And then they were excited about it, and then we did it.
So how did you want to handle your cast who aren't professional actors, but did you like give them like chance to improv, or you gave them guidelines? How did you want to handle that?
Yeah, I was pretty strict on the script, that I wanted the dialogue at least to be really, right onto the script. But what they could do with that, also when I was writing the script, I gave them kind of a rough draft when I first showed them, and then we expanded on it, and they helped me a lot with things that they thought that they would want to say. They'd come up with ideas while we were shooting, like, can I say this? And then we'd write it in, and then we'd practice that. So yeah, that kind of, it was like a collaborative effort, I think, to come up with their performances.
So in terms of your film production, did you just basically gathered everybody for a nice long camping trip? How did you handle that, and how long did that actually take? I can't imagine it was like a 3-week camping trip.
No. So I was based in Vancouver, but my hometown is near Cortez Island, where we shot it. And so I came home for the summer. I quit my job. I was like, we're gonna do this. I brought my partner with me, Henry, who plays PJ in the film as well. And he was, in a way, and I've credited him as my assistant director, so he was helping me a lot. Yeah, it was a lot of, it was hard because my friends were working, summer jobs. They had different schedules, so it was a lot. We had a Facebook group, and it was a lot of like coordinating these days. We only really had like 4 or 5 days where we were all there, all together, and could get like full days in. And other than that, it was just like, who can be here today? And that's the shot we're going to film, whoever can be there.
Wow. So that means your production schedule had to be like pretty fluid.
It was really fluid. Yeah. And to a stressful point. It was, especially with our location, to get from the main town to where we were shooting, was 2 different ferries with a trip in a car in between. So it was complicated to get everybody there at the same time.
And what about this cabin? What did you have this cabin for a while, or you had to like create some backdrop somewhere else?
So the actual inside of the cabin, that is like an abandoned, I think it was once used for some kind of rave or weird party on Cortez. It is like up a logging road. There was a gate that we had to like track down this guy who had this key for the gate. And then once we got in through the gate, we realized our cars couldn't even get up the road. We hadn't even seen the cabin yet. And and we had to pack the generators up. Like, we just carried them, got there, and we were like, okay, this is it. And then we spent that whole day shooting there, got every one of the scenes that's inside, and then never went back.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm guessing your mini concert with the guys of the band and everything, but that was kind of improvised, or your co-director brought them in? What?
Yeah. That band, they're some of my closest friends, and they knew they were going to play. We didn't know what they were going to play. They kind of do that. I was looking forward to what they were going to do. And then the actual sound that we have for that scene where everybody's dancing, that was live and taken as people were dancing. So that part was really authentic for me, because it was just kind of like a little party in this abandoned cabin. So far, we had like no cell service. It was super weird. We were just kind of having a good time that day.
So the party was authentic, is what
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
Now I understand you've acted yourself, but I'm trying to recall, you weren't really in the movie.
I had a one scene in the end. So, mini spoiler alert, when Jules is her character, she spits wine on me and then goes, "You're not involved." And that was kind of, that was like a little Easter egg joke because, I was definitely involved, but not in the actual, I didn't play a specific role, but I had that part.
But how did you come to the decision saying, you know what, I'm just going to focus fully on directing a film like this?
I'm not particularly interested in acting myself, and I have so many friends that are very interested in it that I just never, even though I see myself in these shots, like I can see myself there and it feels like I was there because I was, but not in the scene, that I never felt the need to be in the film. Every other film that I've done in the past where I have acted, that wasn't really by choice. It was kind of like, okay, nobody else is going to play this role, so I guess I will. Yeah.
So in the sense, like down the road, do you like to stick into this genre, or do you like to do many other things?
I think for my next film, at least, I definitely want to stick with this genre because I don't feel that I've like mastered it in a sense yet. Like I have more dreams with horror for sure, but I also can see myself doing like a number of other things. I'm not like strictly a horror genre, but for a little while at least. I'm not done with it, but I can see myself doing other things as well.
Then I'm curious, what is your master bar that you have set for you that you believe you'll know when you accomplish this?
I've had this dream for a long time of like where I've written this into scripts before, and then we've never had the budget for it. I have this dream of having this group of girls, kind of like a culty group of girls, levitate in the forest, like up into the sky. And and I'm not exactly sure where that's gonna fit in yet, but I want that so bad, and I've wanted that since I wrote Night Trouble, which was my film before this one. This like levitating. We tried to do it. We literally like tried to set up like a pulley system to do this before, but it didn't work out because we don't know what we're doing. So in that way, once I can write something, kind of without having budget in mind and be able to do some of these more like special effects things that I haven't been able to do, I think that's when I'll be satisfied. Or maybe I won't ever be, but that's a start.
So basically, what you're saying is that you want to get get those creative juices flowing so that you could actually do that movie magic someday,
Yeah.
with a lot of movies.
Yeah.
Well, that's terrific. Well, Avalon, I think this is a great conversation. You know what? You have to commend yourself, though. Getting a film into Slamdance is quite a bar and achievement by itself. So, Avalon, congratulations for Honeycomb, and thank you for speaking to us about it. But before I let you go, what is your obsession with like insects, with bees and ants, anyways?
I think bees are insane. I think they've never scared me, even though they are kind of scary. I mean, wasps more specifically. Bees aren't that scary, but there's a fear about them that I've never really felt. I think they're beautiful. And I love learning about them. And there's so many things about them that to me like relate to life in general. That the whole queen bee thing I find really interesting. So that was definitely something in my mind before this, and then it just started to like blend in with this film, and I would learn these things about bees more and more, and people would come up to me as soon as I told them about the story. They go, oh, that's super interesting, like, do you know this about bees? And I'd be like, oh, I didn't know that. Now I'm gonna write that into the film, so it just kind of kept going.
That is terrific. Well, I totally saw the correlation of it all. So anyways, Alan, hey, thank you very much for speaking with us. Can't wait to see where you go, and I hope you do that levitating scene with the group.
Thank you so much. Great talking to you.
Thank you. Bye
Bye.
now.